Hello, you reach Dr. C.J. Jeffrey. I'm a senior pastor as well as community advocate on various topics. You can reach me at cjjeffrey.com or you can reach me by 800-298-7142. You can call that number, talk to me, leave a message, as well as that service does a transfer of my calls, and just as well as you can contact me by email. Um, I have a series of topics that I put on YouTube, recordings just to share with this country, YouTube audience. Um, there is a place and a time in which you know and you don't know. Um, I listen to folks through various medias talk about what veterans, the military experience, encounter, and then oftentimes it's either someone who has never served or someone who is healthy and don't know the full extent of this service. Um, I have been not only one to participate in military operations, but be the one responsible for military operations. To the point of being that I have been always concerned with health situations, of having folks in my family that were of severe disabilities or medical complications, just as well as to say that in my high school days, um, there were individuals that I knew dealing with some things, and I was a confidant to. So why be concerned now that I'm no longer wearing a military uniform? I'm no longer a federal employee, but yet I live in a community where the topics are not shared, are not, um, yes, in the newspaper, yes, on the news, but there are people that's walking the street every day who don't have that information and don't have those answers. So why put this on YouTube? Well, I've seen and watched a lot of things in relationship to information sharing. Um, I'm on LinkedIn as Dr. C.J. Jeffrey. Um, my profile is there. Um, I don't feel no need to hide or run from what's really happening in this country. I've said to people in the military uniform, in relationship to even politicians, that what more do you expect? We went into a war, a battle zone, where even the children were um, uh, suffering from severe disability. If the children step on an IED playing soccer or some other game, what's going to happen to our young men and young women who goes over there? They're going to return with the same severity disability situation. But yet this country has been founded on giving support or the people that suffer this, but yet it's been proven over and over again that the services are inadequate. If it's not the services, the providers are inadequate. The people who sit in those positions who declare that there are answers to the problems are not the one as the administrator or implementing the solution to those problems. So why not panel folks that are not only working the program, but folks that are at the bottom of the program? Yes, this has happened over and over again. There's been many researches and studies, even to find out that there's military regulations that did not address the severe medical problems that we're dealing with now. But when did that happen? That happened after the military campaign. That happened after so many, as for statistics, people have died, people have been maimed, people have gone through severe circumstances. I'm not just talking about recently. I'm not just talking about the OIF, OEF, OEND situations. I'm talking about even before that. As long as this country's been around, military history, you will find that there's been situation after situation. So why has the country now decided to stand up and address this topic? More so because the individuals that are dealing with it, the problems, or either them themselves as grandparents, or either as their grandchildren had went through this and now they are politicians and they sit in these capacities of corporations and they're able to get all these endorsements. Believe me, I didn't make this video on YouTube to appear before anyone as though I've appeared for the last 20 some years, appeared before service providers to explain, let alone to listen to the rhetoric, the bureaucratic process. I put this video out here to let those who are in the trenches to know your fight has just began. Your fight will not end by the fact of putting a piece of paper or your entire medical records on a desk and entrust these folks to take it and do what they got to do. Most of these folks that are service agents are already at the point where you want to be. But they're not going to tell you how to get there, because then that means they lose a job. Then that means you replace them. They don't want to be replaced. They want to be comfortable and content. Let alone they don't want to talk about your quality of life. They don't want to talk about optimal care. Of course, insurance, they don't want to do it either. Why? Because that means they lose you as a customer. They don't want to feed you or show you the right way. They don't want to give you the right information. Why? They lose you as a customer. That means now they got to compete. Competition, as though they can lean back on their legacy, their heritage, what they've accomplished as far as in their career. They got awards all around them. Believe me, if you ever make it to my home office, I got enough awards around me. But believe me, I got more in the drawer than I got on the wall. But yet I can say to you that this is a battle about domestic assistance that you never thought you would have, that you never thought you'd have to deal with, while you engage and dealt with military situations or on your job. You worked fiercely and hard for people, and you gave burned midnight oil, you gave your time and energy, but yet it seemed like the job was never done. You always had to get up the next day and start all over again. So in all your giving, your volunteer service, what do you get? The fight is still here. The situations, the names may have changed, the place may have changed, but you still got to contend with those circumstances. I say this and put this on YouTube because some of the stuff I'm seeing on YouTube, it's a great means, just like with Facebook. I'm on Facebook as sarcoidosis, Gulf War exposure. I'm on there as far as with Career Expo, folks involved in business and folks looking at going to the next level, leaving a job, retiring from a job and starting their own business. I'm on there dealing with a series of topics. Retirement as a federal employee. That means what? That means I went from a military service to being a federal employee. I didn't do contracting work. I helped people with contracting. I helped with transition and career choices. But at the same time, I was told that the only job I would be qualified for was security guard. And if I can find that person and tell them and show them, I've never been a security guard. The last time I did that, I was in a military uniform. So here it is 13 something years later. That ain't been my job, my choice either. But that's where I just say, share with you on this medium, this media, that these circumstances are real. They're real to the individual. They're real if the service provider don't understand that when they're helping them with the paperwork. But even with that being the case, I still forge through the muddy waters, not only from an infantry MOS at Fort Benning, Georgia, but also at Fort Stewart and a series of other places. To say that if you want to call it, Fort Retirement, Fort Home, you can call it what you want to, but yet I'm still forging to get the right answers and to get to the right place. My mission is not over. I know my mission has not, just started either. I'm a series of ways down the road from quite a few folks that I meet and talk to. But you can contact me at cjjeffrey.com, or you can send me information at Dr. Jay-Z, that's DRJAYZE, at hotmail.com. You can call me at 800-298-7142. Thank you for listening to this YouTube video, and I'm sure we'll talk. Otherwise, stay engaged, stay on top of your circumstance situation, because there is an end, but you're gonna have to fight for it.